Do you often wake up in the middle of the night due to leg cramps, or feel stiffness and muscle aches that make moving around more difficult? The good news is you can absolutely improve this through your diet. In today's video, we'll share 3 top superfoods that can help older adults prevent cramps, strengthen muscles, and improve mobility. Make sure to watch until the end. These nutrition tips could truly change your life. Before we begin, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any health tips. Now, let's get started. 1. Eggs, the muscle rebuilding powerhouse. October in Yorkshire had started to turn cold. The first chill winds slipped through the old wooden window frame, making David Whitmore 72 shiver in the middle of the night. But it wasn't the cold that woke him. It was the familiar pull stretching from his calf to his thigh. "Cramp, again, you again," he muttered, rubbing his leg as he reached for the spray bottle by the bedside. For the past few months, this had become a dreadful sort of routine, like a hateful biological alarm clock. His GP had said it was just aging electrolyte imbalance, weakening muscles, nothing unusual. But for David, a retired carpenter who used to walk 10 kilometers a day, the so-called normal for your age simply wasn't acceptable. One morning, while sipping black tea and nibbling on toast, David heard a segment on local radio discussing sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. The deep voice of the presenter said, "If you often suffer from cramps, muscle weakness, or difficulty moving, it might not just be minerals you're lacking. You could be experiencing significant muscle loss." The word muscle loss struck him like lightning. In the mirror, David could see the slope of his shoulders, the unsteady grip on the hammer. Each time he stepped down the stairs, his knees seemed to protest every movement. Something wasn't right. Not right at all. A week later, during a visit to his daughter's home in London, David met Dr. Jamie Lin, the boyfriend of his granddaughter, and a nutritionist from Singapore. After some small talk, David half-joked, "Got anything that'll stop an old man's legs from seizing up at night?" Jamie smiled but didn't answer immediately. Instead, he pulled out his phone, opened a note, and said, "Not medicine, just eggs. Try eating 7 eggs a week consistently for 1 month." David nearly laughed. Eggs. It sounded almost silly, but Jamie was serious. Older adults are often deficient in vitamin B12 choline, and vitamin D all found in eggs, especially the yolk. And eggs are a complete protein, exactly what your muscles need to rebuild. Night cramps are sometimes your nervous system crying out for those nutrients. David raised an eyebrow skeptical, but Jamie simply added, "Go for organic eggs. Don't skip the yolk, just try it. If nothing changes in 30 days, I'll admit I was wrong." Eggs and time. Back in Yorkshire, David began his strange experiment, 1 egg each morning. Sometimes boiled, sometimes fried with whole grain toast. Day 3, cramps continued. Day 6, still stiff legs on the stairs. Day 10, nothing felt different. Until one night he woke up not from pain, but because there was no pain. A full, uninterrupted night's sleep. That hadn't happened in over 2 years. By the 3rd week, David noticed a firmer grip on the hammer. When he bent to pick up the saw, he didn't have to exhale sharply to ease the pressure on his back. The cramps had vanished as if swept away. But what surprised him most was his spirit. "I feel younger," he later said, eyes bright. "It's not that eggs are magic. It's that I realized I can change even at 72. He went back to his GP, the same one who'd prescribed muscle relaxants, and said it was just aging. Blood tests showed his B12 levels had returned to a healthy range. Inflammation markers had dropped. Most impressively, he had gained nearly a kilo of lean muscle in just over a month, something rare for someone his age. On his 73rd birthday, David recorded a short video message for his grandchildren. "My dear ones, if you think Granddad eats eggs because he's broke, you're wrong. I eat eggs because they saved my legs. One small egg, but packed with everything an older body needs. High-quality protein, vitamin D for bones and muscles, B12 and choline for the brain and nerves. 7 eggs a week. Not a lot, but consistent. And I'll tell you this, don't wait until your legs won't carry you before you start caring about your health." Today, David still lives in his timber-framed cottage in Yorkshire. He still walks 3 kilometers every morning, and every morning without fail, he cracks an egg into the pan. No one would have guessed that something as humble as an egg could change a man's life. But for David, it's his little secret, and a reminder that sometimes what you need most isn't in a prescription, but already waiting in your kitchen. 2. Bananas, nature's electrolyte drink. Henry, 68, had always been a healthy, energetic man, a keen, long-distance cyclist and summer swimmer. But 3 years into retirement, his health began to betray him. Not with heart disease or high blood pressure, but with violent nighttime leg cramps. The midnight cries, neighbors said they often heard cries of pain coming from Henry's house around 2 or 3 in the morning. When they asked, he'd brush it off with a smile. Probably just old war dreams. But the truth was far less poetic. Henry hadn't had a full night's sleep in years. Around 2 a.m. his calves would cramp up as if gripped by an invisible vice. His toes curled tight, trembling. He had to crawl out of bed and knead his legs as if fighting a war within his own body. Muscle relaxants. No use. Electrolyte drinks didn't last. Doctors said likely old age dehydration mineral deficiency. But Henry knew there was more to it than that. A letter in spring one early spring morning, he received a handwritten letter, a rare thing in this digital age. It was from Thomas Blake, his old army mate in Scotland. The letter read, "I used to be just like you, but now I sleep like a baby. My trick 1 banana every night, without fail. Try it. If it doesn't work, I'll send you an entire banana tree." Henry nearly laughed. A banana, that overly sweet, pointless fruit he'd long ignored. But then he thought, what have I got to lose? That evening, he bought a bunch of ripe bananas from the local farmer's market. He ate 1, drank a glass of water, and went to bed. 2 a.m. He woke up, because he didn't wake up. The next morning, Henry rose pain-free. No cramps, no tension. He stood up and walked as if someone had oiled his joints in the night. But then something strange happened. On the 3rd evening, he skipped the banana, just to see if it had really worked. 2:37 a.m. The pain returned more violent than ever. His right calf clenched, twitching uncontrollably. Sweat poured from him like a summer storm. That's when he realized that little banana had been saving him. Henry starts investigating. He pulled out nutrition books, searched online, and discovered 1 banana contains 420 milligrams of potassium, crucial for electrolyte balance and preventing muscle spasms. Bananas also provide magnesium and vitamin B6, which support nerve function and help muscles relax. Eating a banana. 1 to 2 hours before bed with water can significantly reduce nighttime cramps. The more he learned, the more frustrated he became at himself. He had accepted the pain as part of getting older, but really, it was just a potassium deficiency. A painful lesson. One evening, distracted by a phone call with his granddaughter, he forgot to eat his banana. That night, a cramp woke him. He tried to get out of bed to find some medicine, but tripped on the bed frame and broke his little toe. At the hospital, he told the doctor, "I broke a bone because I didn't eat a banana." The whole room burst out laughing, but the doctor was serious. That may sound funny, but it's completely true. An old man and his banana mission. From that day forward, Henry became the town's unofficial banana ambassador. To anyone complaining of cramps, sore muscles, or sleepless nights, he'd say, "You can search for all the fancy medicines, but don't overlook the simplest solution: one banana, one glass of water, and a peaceful night's sleep." He even started handing out a banana each week to the elderly members of his local retirement club. They nicknamed him Banana Henry, a title he wore with pride. A new letter this time from Henry wrote back to Thomas, "You were right. The banana didn't just help me sleep. It helped me trust my body again. I used to think the pain meant the end was near, but now I see sometimes all it takes is a banana to start over." Banana Henry's final lesson. If you suffer from nighttime cramps, try eating one banana before bed. Drink water or coconut water to support your electrolytes. If you're diabetic, pair the banana with whole grains or a handful of nuts to keep your blood sugar stable. Don't let aging fool you into thinking pain is inevitable. Henry may be old, but every night he still places a banana on his bedside table, not because he loves bananas, but because he loves sleeping soundly, no longer at war with his own body. 3. Nuts and seeds, small but mighty. In a quiet seaside town in the south of England, there lived an elderly man named Leo Armstrong. Every night, precisely at 3 a.m., he would step out onto his balcony and play a short, haunting tune on his clarinet. The sound was deep, melancholic, and almost ghostly. At first, the neighbors assumed he suffered from insomnia. But then, people began to notice Leo's limp, his trembling hands, and the grimace that crossed his face whenever he sat down or stood up. They whispered chronic muscle pain, perhaps could be from the war. Maybe it's motor neuron disease, but no one dared ask. Leo was always polite and well-mannered, yet fiercely private. The collapse. In December, one cold December night while walking through the nearby park, Leo suddenly collapsed from a violent cramp in his thigh. He groaned, gripping the frosty grass with shaking hands. A young man jogging past rushed to help him up. When he asked if he should call an ambulance, Leo muttered, "This is Night 67. It happens every night." The young man was stunned. "Why haven't you gone to hospital?" "I did," Leo replied. "They gave me pills, told me to drink more water. Nothing's changed. It's like a curse." After being helped home, Leo did something he hadn't done in over 2 decades. He went down to his cellar and opened an old tin box untouched for years. Inside were dusty medical journals, field notes, and a typewritten document titled The Seed Protocol, Secret of Field Medic Unit 93. It had been given to him by a fellow soldier during their posting in North Africa. It described the use of seeds and nuts to restore muscle strength, calm nerve spasms, and reduce inflammation. Back then, Leo dismissed it as nonsense. How could little things like pumpkin seeds or almonds replace medicine? But now, after trying everything, synthetic magnesium, calcium, muscle relaxants, he thought, maybe it's time to start with something small. The protocol begins. Leo began eating 1 small handful of mixed seeds daily, about 28 grams, following the instructions in the document. Pumpkin seeds, the highest in magnesium, relaxes muscles. Almonds rich in potassium and magnesium prevent cramping. Pistachios, healthy fats, improve blood circulation. Walnuts, plus flax seeds omega-3s, reduce chronic muscle inflammation. He ground some into his morning porridge. Before bed, he ate a few plain, unsalted seeds with warm water. One rule: absolutely no salted or roasted seeds, as the salt draws water out of cells and can make cramps worse. The clarinet falls. Silent night, 7. No clarinet at 3 a.m. Night, 8. Still silence. Neighbors began to worry. One knocked on Leo's door early in the morning. Leo opened it, holding a cup of tea, smiling for the first time in years. He said last night, "I slept for 6 hours straight, no cramp, no pain. I thought I was dreaming." Word spreads. News of Leo's recovery spread quickly. Locals began asking him for his anti-cramp nut recipe. A nearby chemist even put up a sign, "Muscle pain. Ask Leo about pumpkin seeds." Even the town's GPs took notice, trialing the no-salt seed therapy, plus warm water at night for patients with chronic cramping. A hidden message. One day, while tidying the old tin box, Leo removed a piece of cardboard and discovered a small folded paper hidden behind it. Written in faded ink, the effects of seeds depend on patience. 1 week to calm the nerves, 2 weeks to heal the vessels, 3 weeks to silence the pain you thought was permanent. Leo chuckled. Now he understood there's no magic trick. Only a willingness to listen to the body and act consistently on the smallest things. Final note. At 72, Leo no longer plays his clarinet in the middle of the night. Now he plays on Sunday mornings in the park, beneath the trees, surrounded by children's laughter and a little basket of almonds, pumpkin seeds, walnuts. He's no longer known as the strange old man playing clarinet at 3 a.m. Now he's simply Leo, the man who cured us with a handful of seeds. Leo's nut and seed protocol summary. Eat 1 small handful, 28g daily pumpkin seeds, almonds, walnuts, flax seeds. Have some just before bed. Keeps muscles relaxed and sleep deeper. Absolutely avoid salted or roasted seeds. If you're new to seeds, start with a small amount to avoid digestive upset. If you often suffer from cramps or muscle fatigue, don't overlook these 3 familiar superfoods: eggs, bananas, and various nuts and seeds. They're not only easy to find and eat, but also incredibly effective at protecting your muscles, supporting your nervous system, and improving daily mobility. Add them to your daily meals and feel the difference. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like to support us. Got questions or want us to cover a specific topic? Leave a comment below. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest health tips and wellness insights. Stay healthy. Stay strong. See you in the next video. If you find the video interesting and useful, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell below the video so you don't miss any future content. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoy this video, you can help spread these valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and create better videos for you.